standing here right by your side. I will be standing here till the end of time. I will be standing here all through the night, till the stars align. Something's gonna bring the change. Journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die, so come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making moves. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. We're rising, we're falling, we're making moves. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. Come and fly away, come and fly away, come and fly away with me.
Good morning. If you like what you hear on this channel, subscribe so you can hear more. If you like what I do and you want YouTube to know about it, hit the like button. It helps bring up my videos more often. Share if you want other people to hear what's being said. And don't forget to hit the little bell so that you're notified the next time I put a video out that you want to hear. Okay, let's get on with it. That was me being silly. Sorry, guys. Look, I know this video I'm fixing to do is not going to win any Nobel Peace Prizes. It's not going to win over the hearts of anybody out there. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack from this video. But I just have it on my heart to say what I think. And that's what I'm going to do. First off, no parent is a perfect parent. Children do not come with owner manuals telling you how to do this and how to do that and what the right thing is to do and how to raise them or teach them or protect them. It just don't happen. And my heart grieves for Kiely Rodni's family. Whether it be mom, dad, step-parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. I know they are going through hell right now. Any family would. Especially her being as young as she was. It's not that it's any easier when people are older, but at least the family doesn't feel like their life was, shortened. Taken before time, You understand what I'm saying. But now I would like to point out a few things. First off, I want to say, Don B and I were having a conversation this morning discussing the cases like we do pretty much every day. And we were discussing whether or not the information that the roadside service driver gave to AWP should have been put out in the public. And we were discussing whether or not by chance, that is not the person that everybody's thinking that it is, the boy that was supposedly in Kiely's car that day. If that's really not him, what happens if some ignorant person takes it upon themselves to go harm this child? And I say child because he's 18. He's just a little over being a child, a minor child. And to me, they're all kids. But what happens if somebody, some crazy loon out here, takes it upon themselves, thinking they're doing it in the name of Kiely, goes and tries to harm this boy? Was it right for anyone to have put out the description of that boy in connection with being possible, involved. Yes, they should, I believe 100% that anybody who has any information, and I may be wrong, and I know people disagree with me, but I totally believe that if you have evidence or something, you've witnessed something, whatever, yes, go straight to the police. Let law enforcement know immediately. Do I think that it all needs to be kept hidden afterwards? No, I do not. I think it needs to be brought out into the public so that everyone knows. No, they don't have to know every detail, just like they did not have to know the description of the boy that was in the car. The guy could have said, or whomever could have just said, there was a guy in the car, and this is what happened, and these are the questions that were asked, and this is how they acted, but no description being given, simply because we don't know if that's who it is or not, and simply because there's a possibility that some crazy out here could go after that child, and it might not even be him. So if you are the crazy loon out there and you're thinking of this, you need to back up and take into consideration that, for one, it's not been proven fact first. Two, you don't know if it's him. You don't even know if it's true. So back up, take a second glance before y'all decide anything, okay? And secondly, Dawn and I also discussed this, but I found out last night, I seen a video that popped up, and it was Mr. Bob G with Wayfaring Spirits. And I want to give him, a shout out, because this, to me, I think this information is important. Don B doesn't happen to think that it plays a major role in anything that's happened, because the end result is Kiely's still not with us, okay? But I happen to think it's very important, because this child was not someone who was fixing to turn 17 years old. This child was a 15-year-old kid driving to a party where there was going to be drinking. And any parent out there who tries to tell me they know their child is going to a party that's for seniors or above, that they believe honestly and wholeheartedly there's not going to be any drinking or drugs or anything at the party, I will call you a bald-faced liar to your face. We all know the history of senior parties, and we all know that there's always alcohol involved. I mean, unless you're in a church setting and the kids are being locked in the church, and you better search every child in there before you lock the doors. I mean, it's just part of growing up, I guess. It always has been. But the plain and simple fact is, in my mind, as a mother and a grandmother with grandchildren who are at this age, there is a huge difference between a 15-year-old child and a teenager who is fixing to turn 17. Domby argued with me, there's no big difference. Well, yeah, to me there is. First of all, a 15-year-old shouldn't be out there driving. A 15-year-old shouldn't be out there dating an 18-year-old boy, with all that entails. A 15-year-old should not be out there by themselves hanging out with half-grown adults, meaning anybody over the age of 18. And you have to, and not that I'm not criticizing her mother, her dad, nobody. But on the other hand, had she have had the rules set down that most 15-year-olds have set down, like, no, you're 15, you can't go get in the car and just drive wherever you want to go, would Kiely still be here? I'm not trying to blame the parents. I'm not. They're going through hell right now, and my heart breaks for them. But for all the other parents out there that may be listening to this, you need to think about it. Yes, a 16-year-old has a right to drive They're not supposed to be drinking. They're not supposed to be doing drugs. Yes, I get that. None of them are. But then again, there's still a big difference between 15 and 17. This child was 15 years old. It doesn't matter that her brain was advanced. Her emotional and mental level was not. It couldn't have been. Not well enough to have handled going to a semi-adult party, acting the same way that semi-adults act. And when children are allowed to do that, and they don't have restrictions put on them, this type of thing is what you wind up with. So for any parents out there who think, oh, well, my child knows better. My child has better sense. My child has common sense. Now, the key word in those sentences is your child. Not your grown child. Not your 18-year-old. Not your 17-year-old. Your child. And children are put on this earth to be protected and loved, took care of, and guided, taught. Like I said, I'm not trying to blame her parents, but I do believe that her parents should have had enough common sense to have said, no, Kiely, you're only 15. Yes, you may have graduated early, but your mind, your emotional state, your mental state is not old enough or developed enough to deal with this kind of situation. And not to mention, you're only 15, and if you get caught out driving at night with no license, not only will you get in trouble, but your mommy and daddy's going to get in trouble for allowing it to happen. Now I wonder law enforcement might say, oh, well, they've lost their child and that may be enough, enough punishment. But everybody keeps asking, is there going to be any legal ramifications for Sammy? Because she was 18 and she is the one that gave the alcoholic beverage to Kiely. Maybe not the first glass, but we do know Sammy admitted herself that she shared alcoholic beverages with a minor all night. I wonder if there's going to be any ramifications for the parents for allowing a 15-year-old child to go get in a car and drive off to a semi-adult party, knowing that's where she was going, and then things turned out the way they did. Do you think maybe that's why they're throwing a fit about AWP and the phone call deal where they're wanting that phone call removed from the video? I mean, do you think maybe they are concerned with what's going to happen or the backlash that's going to be coming down on them? As I said, I'm not trying to come down on these people. They are going through pure hell right now. And if people feel that that's what I'm trying to do, then I apologize to you. But there's no need in leaving nasty comments in my comment section because I'm not going to deal with it. Normally, everybody has their own opinion. And as long as you do it respectively, then you're more than welcome to leave a comment. But if you come across with a snarky, hateful, mean, or otherwise comment, it will be deleted. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because my main concern right now, yes, things have wound up with Kiely the way they wound up. There's no changing it. There's not. The only thing they can do is go forward with their lives and try to find the people. If it was foul play, try to find the people that did this to Kiely and live with the regret that they allowed their 15-year-old to go get in a car. But for the parents who are out there who have teenagers that are going through this kind of thing right now, the graduation parties, the all that stuff, or for the parents who will have kids hitting that age next year or the next, just know in advance, if you have children that are not old enough to be out there going to parties, don't let them be going. If you don't have children who are old enough to drive, don't let them be driving. I mean, that's basically all I'm trying to say. I will say, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment boxes below. As I said, no hate. I will not deal with the hate. If you have something to say and you can say it respectively, then that's great. If you can't say it respectively, don't bother leaving it. As I said, I know this video is not going to be a popular one, but I just had to put it out there. This is my opinion, my feelings, my channel, and I wanted to put it out there, and I did, and I apologize to all of you who think this was wrong, but it had to be said. There are other kids out there that we have to be watching out for now. Pray for all the kids, all the lost kids, all the kids that are sitting in suffering families, suffering homes, all the little kids that are being abused. Pray for everybody. Pray for your own kids. Pray for yourselves. Pray for your neighbor. And I'll see you on the next video.